Hello, everyone, and welcome back to, I was gonna say my channel. I don't really know if that's what this is, but to Instagram TV, to my bedroom. Such a vibe. I've also got my puppy, obviously, with us today, who wants to keep peeping up over my shoulder. So he's going to be joining us today. And I wanted to touch on the topic today. I was going to write this out and I was like, I think it's better for me to be able to explain it and move it through in video form. And the topic is connecting with our body. And the reason I wanted to touch on this is because not only did it just come up in a group training that I did for someone else's, one of my girlfriends, her coaching container that she holds space for her clients, I did a channeled teaching there. We were in conversation around, okay, but for those that feel unable to connect to their bodies, how do we get started with that? And I was like, funny enough, I had that written down as like one of my next pieces of content that I wanted to talk to you guys about, because this is a really, really, really common challenge and space of resistance that I see my clients face, right? We can talk about embodiment work all day long, but a lot of times we're like, so disconnected and so disassociated from our bodies, especially as women, especially as people who have experienced trauma, especially as people who have experienced maybe growing up in the church or maybe a lot of sexual shame or purity culture, feeling disconnected from our bodies in terms of who she is before, during, and after giving birth. These different iterations of ourselves, our bodies are constantly evolving. They're like always changing. So we can tend to have a lot of disconnection of like, fuck, like my body doesn't even feel like my own. So when my coach or my mentor tells me to get into my body, we're like, yeah, but how? I feel so disconnected. It doesn't feel safe for us to go there. I would say 9 out of the 10 clients I work with are killer at the mindset work, killer at the logical, the rational, the analytical. They've intellectualized it all. And the reason I attract people like that into my space is because that was how I was. I still am that way. When I disconnect and when I'm not present and aware of what's going on in my body, I easily go mental about it of like, okay, well, how can I like lay this out? And where's the limiting belief? And where's the resistance? And where's the thing? And I'm trying to like structure it, when really and truly I believe so deeply, and what I've seen to be true for myself is that the mind will only get me so far. Really, where the magic is in the body, especially when we're healing from trauma, because our trauma isn't in our mind. Yes, we might have certain memories, but your body doesn't forget. Your body, as the book says, your body keeps the score. So we have to, in order to get to this next layer of embodiment, of sovereignty, of wholeness, of returning home to ourselves, we have to get back into the body and learn to recreate safety there and recreate connection there so that we can hear our body's truth, our body's wisdom, our body's cues. We can come back into our power, because it's one thing to be like, come back into your power, trust yourself. What's your truth? But it's like, if you're disconnected from this very vessel that houses your soul, you're not going to hear shit. Now, I do believe that your body is always, always, always communicating with you. However, if for the last 30 years or however long, you've hated her, you've judged her, you've ridiculed her, she survived a lot, right? She's gone through a lot. We haven't been listening. We've been betraying her. It's going to take us time to cultivate and reconnect that deeper trust, intimacy, and relationship with her, just as it would be with a friend. If your friend has burned you, you don't just automatically jump back into bed with them. It's like, okay, let's reestablish this relationship. Let's kind of tip in a little bit, tiptoe in and test the waters, because I don't fully trust you again yet. Same thing with a partner. If your partner, wrongs you, it's very hard to just be like, oh, it's fine. Let's just go back to the way things were. If you do that, there's typically resentment and there's deeper shit there. Different topic for another time. But what we've got to do is we have to be able to rebuild that trust and that relationship with her. Okay. So today, I could talk about a bajillion things when it comes to this. This is, I would say, like, if there's one piece of like foundational work that I do, no matter where it is in the realm of pleasure, sex, sexuality, archetypal work, masculine and feminine energy, spirituality, any of that, the foundation of it, I would definitely say a huge aspect that I'll work with every single client on is, what is your process of coming back to your body, trusting her again and helping her feel safe again. So I want to give you a couple pieces today of where you can start with this if you're not ready to dive deeper into a one-on-one relationship or into my membership portal. Embodiment was actually our topic inside of the Circle membership experience last month. So if you do want a deeper dive on this, but you're not quite ready for one-on-one, I also have something fun coming in July that I'll be sharing in the next couple weeks here for like a smaller group experience. But you can definitely jump into the membership portal, which is a very low cost investment. It's month to month. There's no commitment. And we do talk much more about this, and I can coach you around it on our live coaching calls a little bit deeper. But for today, I wanted to create this quick video for you to just start practicing this in your own life of getting back into the body, maybe having a little bit more understanding and clarity around it, so that whether we work together or not, you can start this process. Because I do believe it is absolutely fucking life-changing for everyone that chooses to tap into it, okay? So the first and foremost piece of how you can start connecting to your body, again, you have to help your body feel safe. So what does your safety practice look like? If you don't know what I'm talking about, I have a podcast on it, safety, safety, safety. But come into the body through an embodiment practice every single day and have compassionate awareness of what's going on in the body. So what that means is an embodiment practice, 5 minutes a day even. I would encourage like 15, 20 at least. But if you've got 5, I will take it. I get that people are busy. 5 minutes. I love doing it first thing in the morning because it allows me to say, okay, I wake up, I might have some coffee, I kind of like, shake everything out, move everything out, and then I say, okay, how am I feeling today? How am I feeling? Now, catch yourself. Oh, I'm good. Oh, I'm fine. Oh, I'm tired. Intellectual. I want you to actually feel, what are the body sensations that are happening in your body as you're showing up for yourself today? What are you feeling? How does it feel? How strong is it? How intense is it? What color is it? How old does it feel? Does it feel new? Does it feel like yours? Is it even yours, right? All of these different kind of compassionate questions, these gentle questions we can ask of like, okay, like let's just go deeper into it. Maybe I feel tightness in my chest. Maybe I feel this out of breathness. Maybe I feel these knots in my stomach. Maybe I just feel like my whole body feels sore, even to the touch. Maybe I feel, like a heaviness in my shoulders. Maybe I feel fucking fantastic and I feel like a lightness and I float and I'm like, oh yes, like the joy is undeniable in my body. What does that feel like? Just start asking yourself these questions. From there, you could take it a step further in, okay, what do I need today? For my spiritual practice and my personal rituals, I don't have like, I meditate and then I journal and then I do this and then I do this. And I'm like checking it off, intellectual. I go into the body. How do I feel today? And what is it that my body needs? What is she asking for? And I go with that. Now, that's like embodiment practice, like I would say like 101. Very, very, very simple. What I would love to encourage you to do when you're ready is to then take that into movement of some sort, a pleasure practice of sorts. So maybe you have like a sheepskin rug in front of your mirror and you just lay on it and you move your body on it. Maybe you grab your yoni wand and you explore a self-pleasure practice in your bed, feeling, the coolness of your sheets and feeling the big, soft, fluffy blanket wrapped around your naked body. Maybe you take a bath and you just play and you feel your skin. Just feel. When's the last time you connected to yourself through feeling, through just like letting yourself explore your own body? Again, it doesn't have to be sexual. I do believe over time, as you cultivate this practice with yourself and this connection with yourself, you'll feel that sense of like buzzy, that orgasmic energy to this. But I don't even need you to go right into a sexual practice around this. I want you to just get into the body, right? Can you dance sensually, right? Can you move your body? Can you do some hip circles? Can you do some pelvic floor exercises and feel the squeezing there? Can you moving the Shakti energy that way? Can you go outside and dance around in your yard and feel the wet, damp grass from the morning dew under your toes and feel the dirt kind of get into your feet, and you're getting messy and you're getting dirty? Can you just roll around and experience? Can you do some yoga? And maybe in this yoga practice, you're breathing and you're watching when you just go like, oh, I'm checking this off my to-do list, or oh, I'm thinking about what we're going to have for dinner. You breathe and you come back into the body and you move. Let your embodiment practice, it's not about what you do or how you do it or this 10-step process. It's about art. It's about having a flow, having a dance, letting this be like this sacred ritual, this act of worship of sorts through your body, through your energy, through your longing and your yearning and your pleasure. And just start to see what happens there. How did you feel before? Check in at the body. Do your pleasure practice, your embodiment practice. How do you feel after? Notice the difference. Notice the difference. Now, this is about being compassionate and kind and gentle towards ourselves. So when I say that, you might feel silly or stupid, or you might notice resistance, or you might feel like, yeah, but how? Like I had a client that told me when I told her to start, practicing sensual dance, she was like, I literally Googled like, okay, how do I do this? And what's the 10-step process? And can I take a course on this? And can I do this? And again, these things are beautiful tools, but we're getting intellectual about it again. I want you to trust your body's flow. Trust her movement, trust her desire, trust where she wants you to go. Now you have to feel safe to do so. And when you notice that resistance, I just want you to be compassionate about it. Hey, what's going on here? It's okay to be silly. It's okay to be the fool. It's okay to laugh. It's okay to play. Can we explore this? Can this be an adventure? Can this just be like this art, this expression of creativity, of me just getting in connection with myself and my human body that does connect me to my divinity, that holds my divinity, this aspect of me that is sacred? Can I get in touch with that and see what comes through for you? Now, the second thing I wrote down here was kind of going into that embodiment practice, that pleasure ritual. Feel yourself. Like I said, when is the last time that you felt your very skin, that you felt the curves of your body, that you felt the coolness, that you felt the warmth, that you felt these different ways that it can feel of when things touch your skin, right? Like this shirt has velvet. This kimono has this velvet on it. It has these tassels. When's the last time I just let myself feel that? And I felt what it felt like to have my skin touched. Maybe it's like a light, energetic touch. Maybe it's a deep, sensual touch that I'm craving. When is the last time? I'm getting all like, my microphone and everything's kind of getting in the way here. But when's the last time that you just felt yourself, your skin? You had this moment with yourself. You saw yourself. You experienced yourself. A lot of us are craving this from our partners. And I do believe that there's such a beauty there as well. And that's another topic for another time. But when is the last time you did that with yourself? What is your relationship with your own self, your own body, your own senses, your own energy? And can we start there? Simple, be in the shower. You got your shower gel or your bar soap or whatever you've got, and just rub your body. You don't even, if it hurts to even look at it and that brings up too much, you don't have to look at it. Close your eyes. Maybe you turn some music on, light some candles, just feel your skin. Maybe it's after you get out of the shower and you're rubbing your body down with oils, whatever that might look like. Have this process and this ritual, this experience with yourself. Just feel yourself. This is about practicing presence, connecting with the body. Our mind will spin into the future. She'll spin into the past. She'll bring us there. She'll bring us there. Presence. What is happening in the body right now? Now, number 3, something that I learned and really got into connection with Jamie Lee Finch. She is an embodiment mentor, a sex coach as well. She is incredible. And she teaches on personifying your body. So create a relationship with your body. Personify her. Instead of it's an it, it's a she, a he, a they, whatever pronoun you identify with. For me, My body is a she. And the second that I started to personify her, everything started to shift. I started to recognize what is this is the one relationship, me and my body, that's not going anywhere. She can't abandon me. I can't abandon her. Like we are in it thick as thieves for the rest of time, right? Till my body leaves this earth, till my soul leaves this earth. So knowing that, how can I create this relationship with her and just start to see her, communicate with her, connect with her, feel her, be with her, hold her, and just start to remind her, like, I'm not going anywhere. I'm so sorry that I've betrayed you before. I'm so sorry that I wasn't listening, but I'm here now. And I call in that safety and I get into feeling with her. And I just notice like the intimacy of being in connection with her and what that opens up for me and what that, requests of me and what that pulls up for me. And I notice that resistance and I sit with it and I acknowledge it and I validate it and I hold myself in that. And just as I was talking about at the beginning, reconnecting, rebuilding a relationship with her after maybe she doesn't trust me, after I've not listened to her for the last, 15, 20 years, whatever it might be, just knowing it takes time. There's layers here. Showing up for her every day. What is she trying to say to me? What is she trying to communicate with me and how I feel? Again, not like, okay, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to figure out the limiting beliefs and I'm going to try to move this and I'm going to do A plus B equals C and I'm going to make it a science. It's not. It's an art. Relationships are an art. Sex is an art. Orgasm is an art. Okay? So how can I just get back into relationship with her? Just as if I'm reaching out to like a long lost friend that I've had forever and really start to recultivate that. Does that make sense? And then number 4, I'm going to leave you with this again. When I do embodiment work with clients, when I connect them back to their bodies, this process is different for everyone. We all have different experiences, different beliefs that we hold, different perspectives, different lenses, different resistance, different shame, different trauma. We all have different pieces that are going to come into our specific embodiment practice. That's why I'm so passionate about doing this work with a mentor, because really, and whether it's me or someone else that you relate to, but because you've got to have someone that can hold space for you in this and keep bringing you back to it. Because here's why. My clients will come to me, right? And they'll be mind. They'll be all intellectual. We go into the body. They go back into their mind. We drop back into the body. I bring them back in. I bring them back in. I bring them back in till at the end of our time together, they can do it for themselves now. They're like, oh, here I go again. I'm back in the mind. And they bring themselves back down. And it's like this constant rewiring of sorts, right? Of what feels natural to go into the mind about it and coming back into the body doesn't feel safe for a lot of us. And it doesn't feel easy. It feels like, fuck, like this feels hard because we've unlearned it. We did it. We trusted it in the beginning when we came into this earth, this perfect little, human, our truest essence. And then conditioning and being tainted and tethered over time, experiencing trauma and these different pieces and these different aspects of life disconnected us. I like to explain the work that I do. I'm not really even teaching you anything. Like, sure, there might be pieces. This work is a deep, deep, deep remembrance. It's a reconnection. It's a returning. You're returning home to who you are, to who you've always been. You're not becoming someone different. You're unraveling the different pieces that have taken you out of yourself, and you're returning home to you. That's what embodiment work does. It brings us closer into our truth, our wisdom, our gifts, our light, our magic, our truest essence. And then we can create our business, our success, our impact, our marriage, our sex life, our children's, future from there. And what a different experience that is. Okay. So number 4, something you can play with as you're doing this. Okay. So we've kind of like eased in. And when you're ready, I want you to start playing with letting your body make decisions for you. Let your body make decisions for you. You get a question, you have an opportunity, you have something flash in. Immediately, you go into the mind. Okay, let's make the to-do list. Let's make the pros and cons. Let's figure it out. What does this look like? Now, that's not bad. That's not bad. That's a beautiful thing. Your mind, beautiful tool. She does what she's got to do. Okay. But we're challenging ourselves here. We're then coming into the body, and then over time, you can work with both. Is this more of a mind thing? Is this more of a body thing? Is it a both and? So let your body make your decisions. So what happens in your body when you think about this opportunity, right? Okay, I want to work with this coach. What happens in my body? Do I feel expansive? Does it feel like, oh, exciting? Do I get the kind of butterflies? Do I feel like my chest open? Do I feel kind of that like pussy tingling, right? Everyone's yeses look different. So feel into this for yourself. Or do I feel like a contraction? Do I feel like, oh, do I feel like a lump in my throat? Do I feel like tightness? Do I feel a heaviness and density? Now, there's still fear. Like when I hire a coach and I'm like, okay, I'm going to shell out, I just hired another mentor for 6 months and I'm like, okay, I'm paying, $1,500 a month for that one person. What does that look like? How does that feel? XYZ. There's still a sense of fear in my body, like a little bit of a like, like, I mean, okay, like here goes another big investment. I just wrapped up a couple. I'm going to go in again. There's still that sense of like a little bit of like, I need to be responsible. So, I did look at the mind about it. Can I make this happen and still have this XYZ and still come from abundance? And the answer was yes. But there still was a little bit of like, so I continued to breathe through it and dropped into safety, felt into my body. And I was like, okay, but it still feels, yes, it's nerve wracking because it's a long commitment. It's a financial commitment, but it feels expansive at the same time. It feels like my body's pulling me towards it. And so I said yes. Okay. So little things, what you're going to eat today. Okay. Go into the kitchen. Where is your body guiding you? You've got the mac and cheese and you've got the chicken, right? Or both, whatever. And you're like, okay. And you notice what's happening in your body when you're thinking about eating each one. There's no right or wrong. What if there's no right or wrong here? What if it's just, what does my body want? What does my body need right now? And go with that. So there's something that if you've ever looked at the book Pussy by Regina Thomashower, I feel like I talk about it in every podcast and every post and every video because it changed my life. But she talks about like your pussy GPS. Let your pussy make your decisions. Place your hand on the outside of your pussy, on the outside of your yoni, like on the outside of your clothes, okay? And just start to ask her questions, yes and no questions, and start to see what happens in your pussy when you ask her these questions. Let her give you direction. Let her give you guidance. This is a beautiful way of getting in connection with your body. Just start to see what happens. Does she tighten? Does she close off? Or does she get supple? Does she get kind of tingly? Does she get excited? Does she lubricate? Right? Does she open? What is it that feels like the hell yeses and the hell no's in your body? And start with little decisions and work up to big decisions. There's no right or wrong here, but just play with it. What is your body telling you in regards to these different decisions you're making? What answers, what cues, what wisdom is your body trying to communicate with you, but we're just not listening? And just start to be with it. Just start to notice, what does it feel like to be in my own energy? What does it feel like, in my space? And get to know that so deeply that then you start to know like, oop, this isn't mine. This isn't mine. Unhook there, unhook here, and come back into your own space. Come back into your own body, your own energy. Return home. Return home. Okay? So like I said, this is going to take time. Your process is going to be your own. You might want to just throw me the middle finger right now. You might want to be like, what the hell? You might be like, oh my God, this is so basic. Like everyone's process is different. This is fairly foundational. This is very like, let's start here and build from there. So if you're ready to take this to the next layer, I invite you into a container with me, whether it's group work or the membership experience or one-on-one work. But play with this 15 minutes a day and just start to see. And I promise you, watch what shifts, watch what happens, and have compassion when your trauma comes up, when your resistance comes up, when your shame comes up, when the numbness comes up. There are times where it's like, I feel fucking nothing. It's numb. And you're like, your eyes are closed and you're like, open one eye and you're like, what's happening? And you're frustrated. Let it happen. Let it happen. You're not doing anything wrong. Your body just isn't, she's not showing you yet. She'll show you when you have the capacity for it, when you've reestablished trust, when she feels safe. How cool is it that all the trauma we've experienced, all the shit that we've walked through, the challenges that we've faced, our body remembers it, but she only shows us what we need to know. and what we're ready to heal and what we're ready to move through. Otherwise, she keeps it with lock and key. And that can be frustrating, and you can judge that and you can kick it, like kicking the box of like, why won't this open? Or you can just look at it of like, okay, this is frustrating. And the human side of me, I just want to like snap my fingers and be fucking done with this. But I'm actually really amazed at how my body is protecting me right now. Thank you, body. Thank you, body. Breathe with it, be with it, show gratitude to her every single day. After, 30 years, or I would say, like, when did I start feel like disconnecting and hating my body? Probably like, I think 11, 12, right? So 18, 19 years. After all of those years of hating myself, yo-yo dieting, killing and beating myself up every single day, avoiding myself, judging myself, resisting myself, shutting myself down, making myself wrong, making myself bad, she still keeps showing up for me. I've almost been in an abusive relationship with myself, and she still hasn't abandoned me. So what if I start to acknowledge her and validate her and see her and honor her and love her and welcome her and hold her and just start to see what happens from that space? Like, I am so sorry, body, for all that I've put you through. Thank you for continuing to show up for me. I don't deserve it, but I promise I'm working on doing better. And I'm here and I'm listening. I'm going to keep showing up for you every single day. This is the same thing we do in inner child work, right? We go back to our 6-year-old self. I see you. I love you. I'm so sorry that happened to you. I'm here for you. Here's how far we've gone, and it's going to be okay. And I'm going to keep showing up every day. You can trust me, right? And we rebuild that over time. Same thing with our body. What kind of relationship are you in with your body? And how is that affecting your business, your sex, your orgasmic potential, your weight, your children, your impact, your creativity? Like, it really does. It all stems from here. If I start talking about sexual energy and I start talking about pleasure, but you're not connected to your body, it doesn't matter. Because you got to be connected. You've got to be grounded and rooted and anchored into your vessel that is housing your soul in this lifetime. How epic is that? So yes, we can do all of the spiritual rituals, and we can meditate all day long, and we can dance on the astral, and we can time travel, and we can do all of these things. But like I talked about, the human experience puts us in a physical vessel. So we do this, and what's going on in my body today? What does this human, physical, 3D form of me need? How can I get in touch with that? How can I feel her, experience her, love on her, move her? What if you just moved through life in this like dance and this flow and this art form as like this act of worship, just being like, fuck, like it feels so good to be alive. What a gift. And start playing with that. And just notice when you have resistance, honor it, welcome it, allow it. And if you need help with this, someone to hold space for you until you can hold this space for yourself, someone to keep bringing you back into that, I would love to invite you into some sort of container with me, some sort of sacred space with me where we can work on this one-on-one or in a small group and really honor your individual returning home process, your own soul's remembrance. It's not about, XYZ and a 10-step process. These are just ideas for us to start playing with. This isn't a 10-step process. You don't have to touch any of these. We could get on the phone and there could be a whole different experience. So let it unfold. Let it reveal itself as you give yourself this space. Okay? So that's what I have for you today. I'm going to leave you with that little tickling of the palate. Is that what the word would be? Just the tip, a little sexual innuendo. And we will continue this conversation in another form, in another time. So I love you guys. Thank you so much for being here. Let me know how I can serve and support you in this below. Reach out in DMs. I would love to hear more from you about how I can support you. And I love you guys. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.